You are live. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was going to check my pulse there for a second. Hey, welcome to Tech to Rama. This is the podcast that talks about tech, sci-fi, and all things geek. We will be getting started in just a moment.
Yes.
Notice that the little video thing didn't play in. I had to take that off when we were recording with Jack Mangan the other day. I said, okay, let's
Oh,
go. And that starts out right. Let's stop and turn that off.
wait, you were recording with Jack Mangan for what? What were you doing?
Jack Mangan and another lovely woman, Kathy Rankin, were over here doing some recording segments on Wednesday. They needed to borrow the studio. They are Jack has started an organization called Slam, and I apologize, I can't remember, but it's about life of musicians and how musicians have such a hard life, and helping them deal with the stress and coping and whatnot. And there's
Mhm.
been a number of people that have really stepped up in the industry, and they wanted to recognize this. So they got the first annual Slam Awards, and they were over here
Okay.
recording the segments for that.
All right.
One of which is the lead singer of Judas Priest. Remember Rob? Rob, drawing a mental blank, and Michael Butler can shoot me now. Halford? Is that what it is? Rob Halford?
Oh,
He's in there.
yeah, I
There's a
think
whole
so.
bunch of other names that I'm like, I think I recognize that name. So he and Kathy are very well connected. So they were recording segments, and I was the studio jockey monitoring the audio and fixing crazy cable issues. Like they'd be talking side by side, and
Oh, wait, you were the stagehand in that
I
in
was
that
the
situation.
stagehand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kathy's mic starts cutting in and out. I'm like, let's try a different mic. A little while later starts cutting in and out. Let's try a different cable. Hang on. I got buckets of them around.
Right? Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And afterwards, Kathy had to hit the road, but Jack and I hung out and we jammed. He brought his guitar. He said, "I'd like to play a little song." I said, "Go ahead." So he's on camera and sounding very professional. And he said, "Why don't you play something?" I said, "Well, what am I going to play? I mean, we don't want to get sued by copyright, so I can't do one of my parody songs." But I did play my original song, "Washing Machine," which was kind of
Oh, I thought you were gonna play, like, Back in Black on the ukulele.
no. There are some songs you should not play on the ukulele. That's probably one of them. There's some songs I should not play on the ukulele.
Yeah.
That's probably one of them.
Hey, speaking of that,
Yeah.
just as a side note, I set up I got my Plex server fixed, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later,
Yes. Good.
um but I had just to mention it, on there, I already had the folders for my music, and I
Mhm.
only have a couple of movies ripped. I need to rip some more, a couple movies in there and stuff like that. So it was easy to set up my folders and really start digging into it. But on the way to my parents' house where I stayed this weekend, I listened to the Plex amp, which is the Plex, you know, audio player that talks to your library. And
Sure.
that was cool. I was like going through my MP3 thing. It's not like I haven't done streaming music before, but at the same time, I was streaming music of a library which I haven't really looked at a whole lot in the last several years. It was fun to kind of scroll through some of the music I had saved over the years and kept them together and was able to play them in the car. And yeah, it was cool.
I think I've lost mine. I had like couple 100 gigabytes of music at one point, and I went through
Yeah.
all the old hard drives. I'm hooking up,
Mhm.
FireWire 400 drive going, "Is it on
Yeah.
here? Do I have the
Yeah.
adapter
Do
cable?"
you
The
know?
cable is in shreds, but it's like and it
Yeah.
I just could not find them. Like, "Where did my music library
I'll
go?"
I'll tell you what I did. A long It's been a long time ago when there was music, Google Music.
Yeah.
They had an upload feature, so I uploaded all of my MP that library I was just telling you about up there.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Cool, I can listen to music off music.google, the streaming service, but over here in the same app is all in my library, my uploads." So I could listen to any of that stuff, and I was like, "That's so cool." Well, when YouTube Music came along, they did migrate all that stuff, so my uploads are still there. A lot of
Gotcha.
people are still. So I did the Google takeout and downloaded
Yep.
all of the
Yep.
music about a year ago, and played around trying to retag some of the things, make sure it looked right. But yeah, it was fun to kind of go through and go, "Oh yeah, I forgot I had that song. Forgot I had that one." And it's more of a curated list rather than here eat everything on the streaming service, which was fun.
Right. All right. We got to get our audio podcast. Thank you for the people that jumped in, but not that jumped out. So
Yeah.
who knows what's going on there? We need to change our view to that. I like that better on mobile.
Yeah.
It's the two-person Brady Bunch.
Yeah. Wave up and down. Hey.
Let's begin the audio podcast. Just go ahead. I wasn't looking at the meters. Make sure your audio is coming through. Good
There
job.
you go. How's
Good job. Okay. Yes, we can decode that. That was encrypted text.
Send it to AI. What did he say?
Yeah,
Decrypt.
turn on the translator for that. How's the captions working for you?
Yeah.
Babbles incoherently.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
Hey,
go.
wait a minute. You made me. I'm sorry. I was watching a show. I've seen this kind of stuff before. I was watching a show, had subtitles on, and it says mumbling in Chinese.
I keep getting one that says, I think it's Netflix, where it says like music inhales or something. Like, what does that mean?
Music in it.
It's something really bizarre. It's something about the music. I was like, I just
Yeah, it makes no
doesn't make
sense.
All
That's
right,
funny.
let us begin with our new show notes template, which I'm kind of digging at the moment. Let's
Yeah, I
see
am
how it
too.
works. We also have a little bit of new content in the show for you. So if you're watching along, see if you can pick it out. We're going to do some fun stuff. I just was inspired a couple of times this week. The creativity, we don't change this show often. So this is a special treat in show 810.
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1. Technorama episode 810, Defragging the Holodeck. Hello and welcome to Technorama, the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. My name is Chuck Tomasi from Phoenix, Arizona, where it's I measured in Kelvin. No, it's really hot. It's so hot that Celsius is even hot.
It's off all the scales.
And joining me from North Carolina is Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
Hey, I'm doing good. By the way, I prefer spin right on my holodeck instead of just defragging.
Spin right. Norton Utilities 3.0 for
No,
dogs.
that was from Gibson. That was is it William Gibson?
Yeah.
He did the spin right for a hard drive recovery tool. That
All right, I
saved me a
mentioned
couple
it's
times.
show 810. I thought we'd have something fun. I was thinking about it.
Mhm.
810. Why does 810 sound familiar? Well, after doing a little research, it didn't. But my curiosity got the better of me, and I want to tell you a few fun facts about the number 810. It's an
Okay.
even composite number. Whatever. Some of this is like, I don't know what that means, but
Even
hey, if you want to go
composite
look it up
number.
or you know what it means, let us know. It has prime factorization, 2 times 3 to the 4th times 5. That's 810. Pretty cool. And 2, 3, and 5 are primes. So that's neat. It is a Harshad number, which means it's divisible by the sum of its digits. 8 plus 1 plus 0 equals 9. Neat, right?
Okay. Yes, wonderful.
The total divisors are 20 and other meanings of 810. It's the area code of some parts of Michigan since 1993.
Right. Okay.
It's an angel number. It symbolizes spiritual awakening and positive life changes. But wait till
810.
you hear the next
Okay.
one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait. No, in a little bit. 810. There's a band, a new metal band called King 810. Didn't know that. Some of you may
Okay.
know that already. 8:10 a.m. is a radio out of Overland, Texas, Kansas.
Okay.
This is kind of fun. And 810 is an unhappy number. Unhappy numbers, I had to look this up, are numbers having a period 8 two-digitized sequences. I don't know what that means either, but how can it be an unhappy number but still symbolize spiritual awakening and positive life changes is beyond me.
Wow. I don't know where they got that from, but okay.
We've also got another segment near the end of the show. I thought that would be fun. I'm going to keep going with this. I want to see, it only took us over 800 shows to figure this one out and start playing with numbers. Think of all the ones we missed, like 404.
404. Yeah. Or 803, my old area code.
The topic is Trek is coming up on numbers like that. We just passed 200, which I was like, okay, that's an HTTP okay status.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start dragging some of this nonsense into that show. Probably not.
No, I think
So
there's plenty of nonsense over there already.
there already is. Yes. Okay. On with our question of the week. We asked you a question at the end of the last episode and put it on social media. Let's hear your responses.
Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today.
Reach right in and pull one out.
Those letters. I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Our question of the week for you last time was, if an alien probe dropped off a surprise cargo delivery in your backyard, what sci-fi technology are you hoping for inside? You want to take the Facebook stuff again? You got it up?
Yep. Yeah, I got it up right here.
Go for it.
So Mike Robinson says, one or possibly all of these would be fantastic. One, a way to become fully healthy, functioning adult without horrible side effects. Number two, a way to make gems and or valuable metals without horrible side effect or without effects involved. Okay. Number three, an easy to assemble spaceship kit or fully functional ship that can be utilized before the MIB group shows up to recover it. All right. So Weber
What
Baker
else you got?
says phaser that could not be set stronger than stun. What fun is that? I'm just, John Kratzer.
His dogs.
Yeah. The dogs wake up to shoot him again. John Kratzer says Rosie the robot, she can do all the cleaning. Which is funny as that's what I call my robot vacuum here on the floor. Rosie. Your sister, Suzette Tomasi, says lightning where the walls lighting where the walls disappear and is ethereal for sleeping. That's interesting.
Yep.
Where Baker strikes again, he says, "Oh yeah, sonic screwdrivers." That's a good one. Mike Robinson also strikes again. Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
Yeah.
You know, we throw out these pop culture references, and I was at church today. The music director threw one out that some of the musicians did not get, and I know that they are probably in their late 30s, maybe early 40s.
Mhm.
He mentioned the driving test scene from the show Taxi.
Oh,
What does the yellow light mean?
Yeah.
Right. And they didn't get it. And I was walking by as I was
it's
sending
slower. What?
Oh, what does the yellow light mean? One of Christopher Lloyd's comedy gold.
Oh, yeah. That
Slow
was
down. What does comedy gold? And they missed it.
Yeah.
Another sign of how old we actually are. Okay, I'm going over to Discord to get answers.
Lone Guy's Night said,
that's right.
Portal to a pocket universe where I can hide for a couple of years. Okay.
Couple of
Fair
years. Had enough of this place.
Yeah.
Till the next election, then find out how much things have gone wrong. Over on Discord, if you want to go to chuckchat.com/Discord and join us there. Tom P says, a matter transporter. Nice. Mad Marv says, in angle brackets, system. And then it says interface device. Not sure what the tag was for, but I think I know what he's after. Crazy Joe just put a picture of Robbie the robot.
There you go.
Brian Brown says he wants a replicator, which I assume would be close to Tom P's matter transporter. But one converts energy to matter, one's matter to energy, and back again.
No, poop to matter. No, poop to
Sweet
food.
Steve says a Stargate and connected DHD, a few P90s, and Sam Carter, Amanda Tapping. Don't forget Captain Colonel Carter, Lieutenant Carter. She went through like 3 ranks in that show. Chris A. Moody says a replicator or a holodeck. And Humanoid says a TARDIS or some other device that will let me have control over time and space.
Okay. Yeah.
Good answers. All nerdy.
That's a
We
good one.
like them. We got another question for you. at the end of the show. I think that
Yes.
wraps up our feedback session. We didn't have any voicemail or email this week, but if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so. Call the listener line 707-530-2428. Maybe you've got a comment about our question. Maybe you got a comment about the number 810 or number 811 if you want to be on the next episode.
811. Yeah.
811. Isn't that like one of those information numbers? Like 411? Not 911. That's the emergency in the US. And in the UK, it's 0800
No, it's not.
Oh,
We're
that's
telling people
easy.
that they're going to try and use it.
3.
That's right.
Get a hold of us, and we are going to sign out of the feedback session and go into the history section. Another quick disclaimer, there's been some software revisions, and this is the first week that we're using the new app for the history segment. And as part of that, instead of using patterns to do the translation from just straight up records of birthday, text, date, blah, 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 we asked Gemini to do it for us. So
Okay.
let's find out what happens. It doesn't make Craig's or my pronunciation of the names any better,
Maybe.
but we're going to give it a shot. On this day in history for August 5th, 2026, this is the 217th day of the year. There are 148 days remaining. They didn't put in the Gregorian calendar part. I'm bummed. So I'm going to say it anyway. There, I did. We start all the way back in 1583 when Sir Humphrey Gilbert claimed St. John's, Newfoundland, establishing the first English colony in North America.
Oh, it's my turn. Turning to 1620, the Mayflower set sail from Southampton on its initial voyage toward North America through a leak in its companion ship forced through a leak through its companion ship.
Though a leak.
Forced through through. No, there's no R. Though a
Though.
leak in its companionship forced them to dock in Dartmouth.
See, I told you it doesn't make the reading any better.
Leave me alone.
Fast forward to 1884 when workers laid the foundation for an iconic monument by setting the cornerstone for the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor.
And just 4 years later, in 1888, Bertha Benz completed the world's first long-distance automobile trip, driving from Mannheim to Forsheim in Germany.
In 1914, urban driving changed forever when the first electric traffic light was installed in Cleveland, Ohio.
And people started running it. What was
That's
that?
a trivia question in Trivial
Yeah, they're
Pursuit.
driving. What was that? I don't know. Keep going.
Crash!
Moving to 1926, legendary illusionist Harry Houdini performed an incredible feat, spending 91 minutes submerged in a sealed underwater tank before escaping. He's from your hometown, isn't he? Or where you
He
used to live?
spent some time in Appleton, Wisconsin. Yes.
Yeah.
On this date in 1957, American Bandstand made its national television debut on ABC, bringing popular music and youth dance culture to millions.
That's right. And in 1973, the Soviet Union launched Mars 6 on its mission to explore Venus. I mean, the red planet.
What?
They were
All
exploring the
right.
red planet.
Clearly, AI has an advantage on us right now. Let's see how we do with the birthdays. Turning to notable birthdays on this August 5th, we start by remembering those from the past. Danish-born Russian navigator and explorer Vitus Bering was born 345 years ago today.
And Norwegian mathematician Niels Henrik Abel was came into the world. He's born 224 years ago.
It's very creative on some of these phrases.
Yeah.
English explorer and former governor of Jamaica, Edward John Eyre, was born 211 years ago today.
And born 167 years ago in 1862 was Joseph Merrick, the Englishman who framed for his life with severe physical deformities. Was that the Elephant Man?
That's what they called him.
Yes.
Pioneering German chemist Carl Harries entered the world 160 years ago today.
He entered the world. Ta-da! Renowned
on the bottom side.
Yeah. Renowned Brazilian physician and epidemiologist Oswald Cruz was born 154 years ago today.
Iconic American
Oswaldo.
astronaut Neil Armstrong, the first person to set foot on the moon, was born 96 years ago today.
And English American astronomer Brian G. Marsden was born 89 years ago today.
As for those celebrating today, that's a weird way to transition. Trailblazing American physicist Shirley Ann Jackson turns 80.
Prominent American astrophysicist France A. Cordova is celebrating her 79th birthday today.
I think that segue was because these people are also alive.
Yeah.
And beloved American actress Maureen McCormick reaches the milestone age of 70 today. Woof.
Marsha.
Listener birthdays this week include August 6th, Fritz the German and my daughter Julie, Philippa Ballantyne on the 8th, Matt Coe and Julia Pose on the 9th. August 10th is Sam Martin. August 11th is Steve Wozniak from Apple. I'm not sure if he's a listener or not, but
Not
we celebrate
Appleton,
his
but
birthday anyway.
Apple.
Right. And David Brewer, also known as Tyrion the Imp, on the 11th. Happy birthday to all of you. If it's your birthday this week and AI didn't make it up, we wish you all the best. And if you want to be on the birthday calendar, well, of course, you can always go to chuckchat.com/birthday. Put your name on there. We will wish you a happy birthday at the appropriate time of year. We'll get it in the Discord bot, and it'll go happy birthday at the appropriate time of year. More so than us, because sometimes we take vacations, but it doesn't. The Technorama bot knows no rest.
Yes.
We work that thing like a dog. Right, just clean up the show notes. We
I
have
think it's on the verge of becoming sentient, but we'll see.
Are we at the end of the song yet? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just going to go. That's the way it was on this day in history for August 5th, 2026. No. All right. Goodbye.
Yeah, get out of here.
It's probably the end right there, but we don't care. We're moving on. On to some news. We need a random light blue button. There we
Good
go.
news, everyone.
What?
That's my thing.
You can't do that. That's my only thing. All right, NASA satellites are watching Earth's newest island rise from the sea. NASA satellites are tracking a rare site in the South Pacific. Earth's newest island may be forming right before their eyes.
Ooh, cool.
In May of 2026, an unexpected underwater volcanic eruption began along Titan Ridge in the Bismarck Sea, just north of Papua New Guinea. Satellites including NASA's Terra, Aqua, and PACE spotted rising steam, ash plumes, intense thermal hotspots, and vast floating fields of pumice rock. That would be kind of weird if you're cruising along us and there's these, you hit an island that's just forming, or you go, well, that's odd. Look at all these floating stones.
Or imagine what it does to the hull of your boat.
The pumice stones. Well, it keeps the
Yeah.
barnacles off.
I've had a piece of rock like that, and it was so rough and porous. It was amazing.
What else floats in water? Very small rocks.
He's a geek.
Scientists say these thermal signatures indicate magma is pushing surprisingly close to the surface. While the ocean floor in this region is notoriously poorly mapped, satellite sensors are giving researchers a front row seat to watch whether the submerged volcano breaks through the waterline. If permanent land emerges, NASA plans to use advanced satellite radar to track the island's creation in real time, using it as a virtual laboratory to study how brand new land forms, erodes, and gets colonized by life. But that may take a while. I want to know what they're going to name it.
Pumice Island.
NASAtoria.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for the news. One story there, and we have one in the Hax's Strange Story section as well. NASA captured the Black Sea turning brilliant turquoise blue from space, because that's what NASA does, is things from space. In the story, it says NASA satellites and astronauts aboard the International Space Station have captured stunning images of the Black Sea undergoing its annual dramatic transformation from dark blue to brilliant turquoise. The vibrant shift is driven by massive seasonal blooms of coccolithophores. That's a new word for me. And
Yeah.
hard to say with
I was say say it 3 times fast.
microscopic plankton covered in chalky calcium carbonate shells. Ooh, I wonder if that's the same thing that made the chalk
Plates.
cliffs of Dover.
You say
Anyway, I
calcium carbonate plates.
just watched a video on the White Cliffs of Dover.
Mhm.
Anyway, it says when billions of these organisms multiplied during the late spring and early summer, their reflective shells scatter sunlight, brightening the sea enough to be clearly visible from space. I don't know if I call it turquoise. It looks like the same dark blue with swirls of green in it.
I mean,
But
it's pretty, but yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah. We got
And
an ocean like
in
that.
images captured by NASA's PACE satellite, hey, that's the one we just mentioned.
That's it,
And
yeah.
an ISS astronaut in mid 2026, the turquoise swirls trace complex ocean currents, even drifting into the narrow Bosphorus Strait through Istanbul. Beyond creating a spectacular view, tracking these blooms from orbit helps scientists monitor marine ecosystems and measure ocean carbon capture as dying coccolithophores take
Whoa.
absorbed carbon down to the seafloor for long term storage. Oh, kind of like Google. Only you don't have to pay them.
Long-term storage.
All right. Before we get into more stories, we got a couple more coming up, but we want to give a shout out to the chat room. Oh, look, there's nobody in the chat room tonight. We got 9 viewers, but nobody's chatting. Say hi, everybody. Let us know where you're
There was
from.
somebody in there, but I had to ban them already.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Did they,
Yeah.
they say something unkind?
I will share that with you offline.
Okay. Then I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
But we have multiple viewers.
Our AI bouncer went and took care of them.
I want to remind you that we do the show Sunday nights at 8:30
Yeah.
Eastern time, US, most of the time when we're not on vacation or work interferes or whatever, because we got other lives. We're doing as much.
We have
as
other
we
lives?
can. Yeah.
I'm having tired of just dealing with the
Outside
one.
this little box.
Hey,
Yeah, there's
The
a
one's
whole
enough,
world out
okay?
there.
Yeah, the
Yep.
one life is enough.
Thank you for watching with us again. Sunday nights, 8:30 Eastern. We'd love to see you there. We also have a calendar set up if you want to keep an eye on that. And that calendar, shared Google Calendar, also has all of our on this day in history for like the last 10 or 11 years. So it's quite full, and it's fun to compare what we did manually versus what now AI is helping us put together.
Yeah.
So let's go on to Remember When, because we do remember when. We remember a lot of stuff.
Yes.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Zilog Z80, one of
Yeah.
the popular CPUs of its day, and sadly, no longer in production. But we'll get to that in just a minute.
Hey,
Let's take a moment.
Just imagine how many are floating around still out in the world, though.
You can still get them. You
Yeah.
can still get them. And there's even though Zilog isn't making the original, there's still like follow-on ones. But here's what I got written down for this week.
Mhm.
Let's take a moment to honor the true titan of computer history, the Zilog Z80. First launched back in July of 1976, this legendary 8-bit microprocessor officially turns 50 years old last month. It was this month when the article was published. We're recording this a few days later.
Yeah.
Sadly, it didn't quite make it to its golden anniversary in active production. Zilog's parent company, Littelfuse, officially discontinued the standalone silicon back in 2024. But its footprint on the industry is absolutely massive. The Z80 powered early personal computers, iconic arcade cabinets, and industrial controllers for decades. You were saying?
Oh, I was just thinking maybe they should have had a better name than Little Fuse.
It's Little Littel. Littel Fuse?
Go Big Fuse. What? Why would you name
And
your
its
company?
architecture still refuses to fade away. Retro computing hobbyists are still actively writing custom operating systems and modern development tool chains for it. Upgraded variants like the EZ80, I see what you did there,
Yeah.
and even keeping it alive in modern hardware like driving TI-84 graphic calculators, where modders recently ported Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Right.
Half a century later, the Z80's legacy is as vibrant as ever.
That's cool.
I don't know. You can't see it. It's out of frame on this frame, but yes, the OK Pro motherboard is still sitting there, and I put the Z80 back in its socket. So I have a Z80 on the wall behind me.
It's amazing what you could do and still can do with the Z80, as you were just talking about. We've seen Doom play on everything from a calculator on up. So Uh, it just reminds me how many like. Wait a minute. See if you can see it. I can't even view my own camera.
That's all right. Don't
My
grunt and
Commodore
make.
64 is on right there. It's pulsating away.
That's not a Z80 though.
No, it's not. And it's actually a little bit modern, but I'm just thinking of all the old tech that I still have around, like even
Mhm.
things with a little bit of memory, like the Pebble Watch. All that stuff is still so
Mhm.
useful, and it's amazing what you can come up with to do with it, and still use. So,
I still prefer today's modern environment, but a lot of the principles are still the same. Back when we were doing like in the Z80 days, it was connect this machine to that machine with a serial cable and then create a protocol that sends bits over the
yeah,
serial line and make sure you got your RTS and your CTS. Move that forward 50 years,
mhm,
and it's now web services and headers and protocols and
yeah,
HTTP requests. It's the same kind of thing. That still brings joy to my life. That's what I was doing today. I showed you a diagram of a little bit of how I was doing
oh,
API authentication and validation.
right,
It's like, yep, same stuff, different tech.
yep, oh
Uh,
yeah.
the sum
Actually,
of
I mentioned I've said this a long time ago, but you gave me a little crap about it, which you normally do. Is that a lot of the programming on the Commodore,
yes.
even using BASIC and some of the things I was doing back in the day, it really gave me a leg up on going forward programming throughout the years. Like I ended up going my first job. I was doing a little bit of quick basic and visual basic
Mm.
and stuff like that, and which obviously I know basic because that's the language of the Commodore. Uh, but he really gave me a leg up, and I don't know, it's just amazing how some of the old tech it relates to what we do today, but it's all obviously changed. Still same crap.
Always amazed me that even in the early days of computing, the Apple hadn't been out long.
Mhm.
And, I was learning some BASIC and some Pascal, and yet there were people that were, manipulating the registers and going into it's like, "How did you learn that? What
Yeah,
how did you get so deep so
yeah,
fast on this stuff?" I
yeah.
I I just didn't understand. Well, a lot of them have been at it for a few
Well,
more years, and they had an
yeah.
engineering degree and the engineering principles to
Mhm.
build these things, so they understood it at a different level, and here I am, a year into it going, "I
Yeah.
can make colors change."
Well, yeah, and I thought I was doing great with basic stuff, and then you talk to another Commodore person, and they're like, "Oh yeah, just poke this value into this register." I'm like, and it does what? It makes the screen black. I mean,
Yeah.
those are some of the low level things you learn, but you get my point. There's defined registers that do things, and you're like, "Oh, I had no idea I could do that." So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
cool.
started making a little book full of all those little secret tips and tricks. It doesn't exist anymore, but yeah,
Oh,
even back then, I
it's
wanted
sitting
to
in
be
a
an author.
landfill. It's sitting in a landfill, and the pages are turning as the wind blows, waiting for you to find it one day. It's sitting over there with the ET cartridges.
Yeah, in Alamogordo. We have another in the Remember When segment.
Yeah.
This Hackaday article that we bring to you breaks down the clever 1980 retro computing trick used to execute machine code directly inside a basic program, speaking of basic, on an Exidy Sorcerer computer. Popular one
Mm,
in its day, I'm sure.
I don't remember this
In a
one.
classic game called Wizard's Castle, I vaguely remember that game.
Okay.
The code contains an unusually cryptic rem, which is a comment statement, alongside a poke command and a USR Sub-Zero call. There's like 3 lines of code. It doesn't look that complex, but somewhere
No.
in the hidden magic, author Al Williams explains the detective story behind how this works. I'm not gonna get into the details here, but if you want to, you can go to the article over at chuckchat.com, episode 810. It serves as a nostalgic look at how 1980s programs bent the rules of BASIC to pull off impossible feats with limited memory. That's exactly what we were just talking about, right? That
Yeah. Yeah.
segue
Exactly. Yeah.
into we're banging out basic things to go, look, I can print my name 10 times or fill the screen with
Yeah.
asterisks that look like a snowflake.
10 print
And
Craig is great. 20 go to 10.
and they're writing 3 lines of code to put an image on the screen going,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah. Here's the Exidy computer. I pulled it up. Look on the left-hand side, there's a button that says graphic.
Don't push
What a-
that. It's too graphic.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's pretty funny.
That was fun. Okay, quick shout out to our patrons. These are the people that make the show run. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this community. We have various levels, and at our commander level, we have Abner Braverman, Mark Kilfoyle, Steve London, Chris Martinez, Gary Lindros, Jason Pollard, Sarah Rose. Thank you for joining us. Kyle Nishioka, Ben Vaughn, John Noble, John Clifford, Denise Inglis, Steve Cody, Tim Cook, Steve Webb, and Amber Elstad. 9 lieutenants all in a row. Then we have 16 ensigns. Wow, this table is very well balanced, but we need your help to unbalance it because that's how the show rolls. We're unbalanced. Right. Alexis Duran, Amy Bowen, Brad Miller, Brian Brown, Chris MC, Dan D. Man Coyer. Oh, I got a scroll bar on this one. Dean Jensen, Yorgish Rowan, Crazy Joe, Mike Wills, Leon M., Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Therian, and Sylvain Racico. Thank you all. Our ensigns, don't put on the red shirt. If you want to be part of this family, you can go over to chuckchat.com/Patreon. And for as little as $1 a show, you can help sponsor this nonsense, because that's what it is. Another way you can support this is our store, which has lots of t-shirts and stickers and fun stuff over there at TeePublic, chuckchat.com/TEEPUBLIC. You make a purchase, you get to wear your clothing with pride, some original designs. Actually, it's all original designs out there. Pick your merch. Now, Craig and I get to talk about this music. This music tells us what we're going to talk about. It's what we've been watching, what we've been listening to, what we've been reading. And to be honest, I haven't been doing much of any of that because I've been spending a lot of time coding, which we'll talk about in the next segment. But what I did get to do is I got to finish up the latter 2 episodes of Grant on Netflix, the story about Ulysses S. Grant. I mentioned that last week.
It's not about our friend Grant Choco. I think we went over it last time.
But he's landed a nice gig with Liberty Mutual, sidebar.
Yeah.
He's now the little yellow puppet Bibberty. And I wasn't sure if it was a one-off or if it was a series. And from his Instagram post, it sounds like he's going to be there for a while. So
actually, if you search for the Liberty Bibberty on YouTube, I posted a few in our YouTube chat or our group chat, but there's at least 2 or 3, I think, commercials you can go see.
Yep. All right. Anyway, no, not about Grant Pachoco. It's about the U.S. President Grant. And general, he was also a general, of course, in the Civil War. And his help was greatly attributed to the North winning the Civil War. Also finished up Pompeii Out of Time with Tom Hiddleston. Nice story about how he went through, followed these people, did a little detective work, jumping back and forth in time, talking to various field experts and what would have happened to these people and how do we interpret these signs that we're reading of what happened to them. Very interesting. So it wasn't just, we're going to Pompeii, here's some ruins, there's some plaster body casts, have a nice day. I'm glad we watched this because Donna and I will be visiting Pompeii and Herculaneum. They did throw in a little bit about Herculaneum too. We will be visiting that later in 2026. So looking forward to seeing that.
See if you can find Tom Hiddleston while you're there.
Well, I want to walk around and see some of he won't be there, but I want to see some of the sites that he did and go, oh, this is Julia Felix's house. And that's where she had the shrine to Isis. And. So that'll be fun if we can hit some of those same sites. Other one that I'm sort of watching but not watching is Adana's going through a series called Resident Alien.
Yes, I've seen some. I've finished it, but I've seen a few. Maybe the 1 season or 1.5 seasons.
One of our favorite Firefly actors, Mr. Tudyk. He's pretty funny in that. I jumped in like late in season 1 and get about every. We watch 2 shows and then I come back and she's 6 shows later, but it's kind of episodic, but there is an arc going through it. It's very fun. He does a great job. Alan Tudyk makes me laugh in just about every role he's in. He's got that kind of dry wit comedy. He goes, I am very sad. When I am sad, I like to watch season 5 of Law and Order because he's an alien in a human body or in human disguise. And then his friend leaves. He goes, "I am
Well,
going to watch season 5 of Law and Order now."
you should watch it. You if you haven't seen the beginning of it, you should because there's a
I
lot of
know the
him
basic premise.
not just trying to fit in, but being
Right.
trying to play the human. He's like, "Oh, thank you. I will kill you later." Kind of like
Right.
Morbo.
He has a lot of those, and his friends all think he's just funny.
Yeah,
'Cause they still see him as the doctor that he took over.
yeah,
The man they think I am is now dead and floating in a river.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. So that's about all I've been watching in between a lot of heavy coding sessions.
Yeah. So, uh, this last week, or actually as of Sunday night, my wife and I finished Cape Fear, which is based off the books, which is based on the previous films, also named Cape Fear. Uh, it had so much potential. There was the act that had lots of talent. Things were in place. Javier Bardem was awesome. Other actors were also awesome, but there was so much filler and everything to get it to 10 episodes. It was a slog and it was very slow. This could have been 6 episodes and it'd have been much better or made another film, you know. It didn't, it was way too long. And so for that, I ding it. However, like I said, Javier played that charismatic kind of calculating criminal.
Yep.
He did a great job. I give him credit for that. But and Amy Adams trying to fake a Southern accent. Hey, she tried. E for effort. All right. So Saturday, I went with my buddy Fred to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Mhm.
That was probably one of the best superhero movies I've seen in a long time.
Really? Not
It
just
is.
another Spider-Man movie.
No, it is not just as another Spider-Man. It builds off the story that we've seen in the last trilogy,
Mhm.
but it's different.
Who
It
was
is.
one of our podcast friends was just talking about that. I don't remember if it was somebody from Dog Days or if it was
Mhm. I don't know.
Grandpa Choco. Somebody was mentioning it.
Well, it's emotional. There's emotional pieces to it. There's really good.
Yeah.
The story is. Um, I don't want to give too much away because it just came out, but it is to some extent a unique story, and Tom Holland really sold it as Spider-Man in the last one. Doctor Strange was trying to keep people from coming after Peter, so Peter came up with the idea have everybody forget who Peter Parker is, right? And he
Right?
did. He cast that spell. Well, in this one, he's kind of been on his own for 4 years and watching the world go by. Nobody really knows who Peter is, except for I'm sure people he's introduced himself to since then. But his friend, he doesn't have any friends anymore. Nobody knows anything, so he's just been Spider-Man basically full time, and that's where we find him. And it just you can see it taking a toll on him, and so on, so on, so on. It's a very emotional show, as well as some great action scenes. So again, I'm not going to give much away other than
Is it
that.
still
So
Tom Holland?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. It's rating
Which is
pretty
hey,
good. Rotten Tomatoes by critics say 90% certified fresh. Audience says 90%, 98% on the popcorn meter. IMDb has it in at 8.2 out of 10. So
yeah,
it's rating
it's
pretty
great.
strong.
It's very great. Tom Holland is killing it this year. He's also in the Odyssey, so which is he's really getting it in this year. So
Getting a paycheck.
yeah, he's doing fine.
All right. Good to know. All right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to see if I can
Oh,
find a time to watch that.
so I was surprised how many people were in the theater to see it. Well, I mean, not surprised. It was nice to see how many people were in the theater to see it. Of course, it's Spider-Man, high profile superhero, and people want to come see it. They like Tom Holland. And so there were lots of people even around us. And usually I've gone maybe the second or third week on some movies, and there's a few people there. But this woman came in with some of her not too young children, but she also had a baby in her arms. And Fred and I were like, oh crap. She's sitting like one seat over from Fred. I'm waiting for cue the baby to cry. I never heard that baby. I actually forgot it was in the theater. I was surprised. But yeah, that was amazing. When you see something like you go, I just spent
You
all this
brought a
money.
baby to a theater.
I
Yep.
brought a baby. Actually, I think it's a little inconsiderate to be honest with you, but baby was quiet.
Cool. All right, that's it for that segment. But we got something new we're going to try. We didn't have anything in the Geek Library, and all the week long, I've been writing down things I've learned. So
Mhm.
until we get copyright infringement on that, we'll bring the segment with
Oh no,
that special segment.
copyright.
Probably. It's not long enough when I was talking, so we'll keep that
Yeah.
up. I'm going to call this Things I Learned because I was going to call it Look What I Found, but Craig's already got a show called that.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll
this
start
is
off.
yeah, you throw one at me, and then I had 2 or 3 written down. I went, man, this doesn't stop. We would love to also hear from our listeners. What have you learned? You'll get an idea as we go through this. It could be technical. It could be just a life lesson or a life hack. We're interested. We learn and grow by sharing with each other. So what have you learned that you would like to share?
Um, so the first thing, I was trying to think of something else because I know we've talked to. Oh, I do have something else.
It's right here in the outline.
Mm-mm.
Gmail. Are you not
No, no.
reading?
No, I was thinking of what other thing was also on the list, but Gmail. I was making an concerted effort to clean up some of the stuff that I'm subscribed to, and by
Right.
subscribed like newsletters, and I don't have that many newsletters, but it's other things that have gotten tacked onto my email over the years, just going and doing things and being places. They get your email address. Next thing you know, I'm on 10
Yeah, you're
marketing
getting
mailing lists.
yeah, here,
So
buy the latest flowers for your wife because there's an
yeah,
upcoming holidays. I never subscribed to this. What is this? And
yeah.
Gmail makes it
So
pretty easy because they got the little unsubscribe thing at the top of
yeah, go ahead and
many
tell
of
them,
them, not
Chuck.
all of them.
Go and tell them.
No, you go ahead. What did you find that makes it easier than that little link at the top?
Well, I was playing around with the AI inbox, which is Gemini in Gmail, and I was
Mhm.
like, they got to make it an easier way to unsubscribe for some of these. And then I happened to find under the little fold on your menu on the left when you're on the
Yes.
desktop version, there is a thing that says manage subscriptions, and they kind of capture which subscriptions you got coming in, and you can go through and unsubscribe from them like with one click. Oh, 2 clicks, I guess, because it gives you a confirmation. But what was great was see, there's a couple of things maybe I was subscribed to because I purchased something like Sticker Mule. We buy stickers for our podcast. I
Right.
was like, okay, let's look at the things for that. So on that row, you can click on it and go, oh, these are marketing ones. And you could go back and unsubscribe. Or you can go, oh, I kind of need those because those are for orders I place. So you
Mhm.
got to be careful a little bit about you can't just go click, click, click. Or you could. You just go through and click them all. But what was another one? Kickstarter. Uh one list was for, hey, this is new on Kickstarter. The other one was giving me updates from Kickstarter. I was like, I want to keep the update ones. And I'm subscribed for the marketing ones. And just go down the list. It gives you a nice view that you can do all this from. And I was just amazed that I had not seen this. This was, I mean, it's not like haven't used Gmail for what, 22 years now. So that's
I
a
still
great
have some
feature.
invites if anybody wants to join.
Invites. Yeah. So anyway, that's great. So go check out manage subscriptions.
Yeah, it even tells you the frequency which they come in. It says, "Hey, you've had 10 to 20 of these in the last 30 days."
Yes. Or
So you
20 or
can go,
more or whatever.
that's
Yeah.
that's not that often. There are some that you just go, "I don't care how often it is. It's too often."
Yeah, but especially the promotions when I get, the I get so many emails in here, it
Yep.
becomes almost unruly and I can't really use it. So I'm going through that managed subscriptions. I started off kind of quick and I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. I need to slow down because some of those I do need, some of them you don't.
And sometimes you just gotta click what's on that more section. Because I said, it's news to me because I never click it either. It's like,
Yeah.
what else is in there?
I tried to move it above the fold and it won't let me, but yeah.
All right. Here's a couple from my list. I learned as I was doing some web development. I've got local development on my laptop, and I was going into the Etsy host and saying, okay, this is going to be such and such dot local. So I'm working on a new version of the app for on this day in history. So I called it otd.local to do the
Mhm.
development. And I got to about the third or fourth application, and at some point, Gemini told me about this thing called lvh.me. I went, "What is that?" It's like a built-in local host. You don't have to screw with the Etsy host file. You can set you can name a host otd.lvh.me, and it also fixes some problems with perhaps your application or your authentication doesn't recognize .local or .dev.local as something. And I went, that's pretty darn sweet. So you've got sort of this built-in local pseudo domain that you can use for development. Knew nothing about it. My mnemonic for remembering that is Las Vegas Hilton, because that's where we used to go for the podcast conference in the
Right.
2008. It
Right.
used to be what the Intercontinental, and then it was something, and then it was the Las Vegas Hilton, that was the LVH, and I don't know what it is now. Another one that I've got, as I mentioned, I'm doing quite a bit of coding. I actually did subscribe to GitHub Copilot, and prior to that, I think I mentioned I was rewriting a bunch of scripts into a web app.
Mhm.
And I was using Gemini. Well, Gemini kept losing its context. It would forget things and it would start making things up like, hey, go make a page where I can see a table of records and click one and edit it. And the UI would come out totally different than the one it did an hour ago. Don't you remember what you did to the style sheets off, or it's got embedded CSS?
Mhm.
What 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 happened here? So it's losing its context, or I'd have to refer to 2 or 3 files at the same time, going, "Based on this CSS and this endpoint, I want you to do this." And, you know, it was a struggle, but it worked. Well, I was just issuing commands in the chat to VS Code saying, "I would like to build an application. I would like to build an endpoint. I would like to build a menu on the sidebar that has these options." And it would go and modify like 6 files at a time and go,
Yeah.
try it out. Click the
Yeah.
keep button when you're ready to go. I said, "That's really cool." And then
Yeah.
I used up all the free tokens and I went, "Now you have to subscribe." I'm watching it
Yeah.
go 50%. A few hours later, you're at 75%. Oh boy. 90%, 95%, you run out. And it ran out
Yeah.
like right in the middle of modifying about 14 files at the same time. Like, oh
I don't know
crap.
about Copilot, but I know like Gemini when you use tokens, there's two token um ranges. One is for all week and one is for hourly and it resets or not hourly, but resets after so many hours.
Mhm.
So you can continue on, you know, if you're doing something heavy, you could get and using free, you could do continue on slowly but surely.
What I learned is I subscribed on, what was it, 27th or 28th of July, and I was using it. And I think I paid like the minimum $10 a month,
Mhm.
and I thought it said you get like an extra free $5. So I'm using this thing and I'm watching the metering. It's going, $7, $8, $9, and I'm using it pretty quickly. And I stopped at about $9.48 going, I'm going to go over that $10 threshold as I get closer to my billing date, which will be at the end of August, which is fine. We're traveling. I don't need to be doing software development every day. July 31st, about 6 PM, I looked again, it was back to 0. Like, "Oh, I guess it resets on the 1st of the month." So, tip to yourself, don't subscribe on July 31st. Don't subscribe with a few hours or you won't be
Oh,
spending that money.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and it also allowed me to keep going. Well, what I'm doing now is sort of divvying up between using the pay tokens in VS Code to do the larger lift. Like, hey, I want to restructure all these APIs so they're consistent, and it's got to go modify 14 files at a time. Versus, I need an API endpoint, a route that, based on these other two, make a third one. Here's one that generates a token. Here's one that revokes a token. Now make one that validates a token, and it can assess the style that I'm using, put in the method, and go, here you go.
Mhm.
So Gemini can do a lot of the simple, like single file manipulation. But when I need to really tie the whole thing together, that's where I get the VS Code in, and I'll spend the money for it. And it's definitely reduced my token usage, um, on what I'm doing. So a lot learned around that. Um,
And by the way, so
yeah,
I meant to, this is what I was going to talk, what I was
yep.
trying to talk about a minute ago was, speaking of Gemini, and I'm trying to stick with one AI to use, and I'm trying to stick with Gemini because it's not only in all of my Gmail and everything apps. I'm using the Google Tasks and all that. It's in my it's in my ecosystem.
Mhm.
And then I figure if I'm coding and stuff like that and using maybe something from Google Drive, it's all together. And so I do pay for Gemini, and I guess it was at their Google I/O they announced uh, anti gravity, which
Mhm.
I hadn't really played with much, or I
Yeah.
didn't know much about it. So I went back. A lot of that has to do with um, our user conference at work is about the same time. So I didn't really pay much attention to it. But I downloaded anti gravity. It's almost like a Gemini chatbot in itself for coding. You give it a folder and you tell it to work in this folder. And I was doing what you were saying was I was giving it
It's
just
pretty
vibe
darn
coding.
impressive. Yeah, I did
It's
look
very
at it.
impressive. And then it had
It's
an
very
ID to
impressive.
go with it if you wanted to go deeper.
Yep.
Um, and did you ever subscribe to Gemini?
No.
Okay. I have a suspicion that's where your memory problems came from, where it was trying to
Well,
reset your
there's a
chip.
setting in there. What's it, intelligence or something that's supposed that
Personal
it's on,
intelligence,
yeah,
it allows you to, it
it's on
hooks
by
into.
default, but it doesn't act like it.
No, but there's also a setting for memory, and I don't know
That's
that
on
you saw.
too.
Okay.
That's yeah. It just
Yeah.
like I said, it's not acting like it. Yeah, anti-gravity is pretty darn impressive. The thing that I decided to use VS Code for was not all the plugins that I use are available.
Mhm.
Their IDE looks just like VS Code. It interacts
Well,
with
VS Code is open source. That's why
yeah.
there's a bunch of other people that are companies that
I
use
think
that.
even ServiceNow is using it.
No, there's a bunch of other companies that use, that VS Code code base, for themselves.
Are you sure? Have you seen the onboard IDE? It looks an awful lot with, like, source
Oh, I
code,
might,
plugins, and whatnot.
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm saying,
Um,
yeah, it's all the same.
okay. Couple of things that are not on that same time frame that I learned. Some of these are life lessons I learned the hard way. Uh, I was for whatever reason, I was reading the instructions on the mouthwash today. Seems a
Okay.
little pedestrian, but did you know that the instructions are
Just
to
now? You've been
swish
using it for how many years?
years? Swish vigorously for 60 seconds. I was doing maybe 10.
Oh, yeah.
Good. I need to freshen my breath because as you know, you wake up in the morning. No, 60 seconds is really where you start killing the germs. And I'm like, okay, let's add that to the morning
Well,
routine.
remember when everybody used to use the alcohol version of mouthwash?
Mhm,
And it would kinda burn a little bit if you
mhm.
went too long?
After 60 seconds, anything
Yeah,
will burn. Alcohol or
yeah.
alcohol
Your
all
mouth's
free.
all, like, cherry red.
Yeah. Uh, the other one, and got another one. Uh, we're going on vacation, and I still have some things that have been listed on eBay for a while. And when I'm away, I don't want somebody buying something and expecting me to ship it within 24, 48 hours because I can't because I'm not here
Yeah,
and I don't have the things with me. I discovered eBay has a time away feature. It's kind of like an out of office in Outlook
yeah,
where it will delist your things. Now, they do have a feature where I don't know exactly how it works, but there's another checkbox down there that says, look, I'm going to be away between, let's just say, August 1st and August 14th. You can still list and sell things there between those dates, but somehow the expectation on the buyer is you're not going to get it shipped for a while. I don't know what that's
probably the
about.
communication when they buy when
Yeah.
they and win something.
And I'm like, um, I thought I'd leave that one alone because it might be an indicator to somebody that, hey, I'm not home right now. So we said, like, just delist it while I'm gone.
Yeah,
It's not life or death. This isn't, you know, my monthly income. So if it's delisted for 2 weeks out of the month, I'm fine with that. It
yeah,
takes the pressure out. They even recommend, they say, turn it on a couple days before because you don't want to sell something the morning you're leaving, you know, and have to box it up and ship it while you're trying to leave. Like, good
right.
tip, good tip. So,
I've had to do that before, like, I think I sold something and we were going on vacation and I was scrambling to get something shipped
Yeah.
Ahead of
Where's the
time so I can
box?
leave.
What have I got? And then here's another one from the School of Hard Knocks. Don't try to carry small pieces of pizza on wax paper or parchment paper.
What'd you do that for?
Well, the
That's
pizza
what my plate's
we
for.
we cook it in the pizza oven on parchment paper,
I
and then
see.
I
Right.
take it out on the parchment paper and run the pizza cutter over it. We just make these little personal sized pizzas.
Sure. Yeah.
So there's, 8 pieces of pizza, and I'm walking it from the counter to the table, and halfway there, it sort of folded in half. As much as you try to get your fingers under it, you
Oh, yeah.
can't hold it because it's hot. You're right. I should have done a plate, and as soon as it started warping on the front end and the back end, I went,
Yeah.
"No." And we didn't
Yeah.
floor pizza. So, yeah, use a plate. That one, these aren't all like, "Wow, that's a great technology I can use." Some of them are already available. It's called a
Right.
plate.
Yeah.
So that's the things we learned this week. If you like this segment, let us know. If you learned something, let us know. We're going to leave you with a question of the week before we head on out of here. If humanity's digital footprint suddenly went dark tomorrow, what single internet meme or forum post would you hope survives as our final message to the cosmos? It's got to be a cat video for me.
Cat video. I was thinking of one of those stupid memes. There's too many to think of right now. I don't know.
Don't
That's
be
a good
like
one.
Steve.
Yeah, don't be like Steve. I have a feeling we're going to have a bunch of images and videos in our. Actually, I would. Hey, I want to do Fry doing one of those. Did humanity exist, or is it still there? Kind of.
How about an episode of Technorama?
Yeah.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have that posted on social media real soon.
We'll send the
Watch for
thumb
that
drive out to space.
and in Discord. So that brings us to the end of the show. Stuff is what it says on the video. I'm going to push the end of the show stuff music. There it is. We appreciate your support, whether you're watching or listening or Patreon or just sharing it with a friend in the car on the drive to work. Thank you very much for your participation. If you want to get in touch with us again, you can call us on the listener line, 707-530-2428. That last part spells chat if you haven't figured it out after
Yeah.
810 episodes. We try to do that on the old number too, and we did it on the new number.
It's right there.
707-530-chat, or you can email us, technorama@chuckchat.com. Goes to both of us. So hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah.
Until then,
Also, Discord. I know you mentioned that.
yes, I
before,
did
and-
mention Discord.
and the Patreon. So
And don't forget to check out Dog Days of Podcasting at dogdaysofpodcasting.com. It's
Yes.
rolling down the highway.
oh yes, it is.
Horses left the barn. All right, give us a binary high five, jockey.
All right, 101.
Audio recording done. We're going to wrap up the video recording. Thank you very much for watching this. We will catch you again in about a week's time. And then we got a couple weeks off again. And then we're going to Dragon Con. And it's going to be really messy throughout the fall schedule. But we will be here.
We'll be here.
We'll be
Off
here
and
when
on.
we can. If you stay subscribed, you'll get the audio and video. You turn on those notifications. You know what to do.
Yeah.
And if you don't want it, you won't hurt our feelings if you leave.
Wait, what? No, don't say that. No,
It's not
stay.
for everyone, Craig.
No, once subscribed, you don't leave.
You don't leave the family once
That's
you're in
right.
the family.
I know.
Do you
Once
know
you're in
what
the
it
circle,
means to be part of the podcast.
yeah. Once you're in the circle, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Turning off
Bye.
the live stream. Bye.